5 best builds for Red Dead Online PvE in 2021. And yes, it's not like you really need a build for PvE in this game, but reasonable setup will make your life much easier. You will save some tonics and will die less often. Place number 5. I call this build Shotgun Crazy, because it's made for shotguns and you just run around shooting everyone like crazy. It's super fun and even effective when enemies are staying close to each other, like revenue agents or bandits in a hideout. Here we're gonna use 2 shotguns, semi-automatic for the closer distances and double barrel for longer distances. Ability cards are quite an inspiration, because we're gonna need a lot of healing, and this ability card will heal us while the die is active, and most importantly, it will not stop working after we're gonna receive some damage. Next ability card is one of the most useful ability cards for PvE, Strange Medicine. You're getting healed for some percent of the damage that you do, and yes, we're gonna do a lot of damage with the shotguns. Next one is called Fool Me Once. On practice in PvE, we're gonna get 30% damage resistance with this ability card, especially when we're fighting with multiple enemies. Usually I prefer to have restoration ability cards over defensive in PvE, but in this case it's gonna be a good choice. And the last ability card is called Blooded. You getting some extra health restoration after killing enemy. Again, suits perfectly for this build, because we're gonna need a lot of health restoration and we will be killing enemies super fast. Anyway, this build just smashes not only regular bandits, but even tougher enemies like revenue agents or NPCs from the maximum difficulty legendary bounty missions. Just don't use this build when enemies are far from each other and it's a big open area. In all other cases, it's just an easiest way to kill all NPCs super fast without putting any effort at all. Just use regular shotgun ammo, don't forget to turn on the die when you're running out of health, and don't try to kill anyone with semi-automatic shotgun on a distance. You have double barrel for that. On the place number 4 we have a build that I call Slippery Bastard. Originally I made it for sniper rifles and it works fine, but I found myself mostly using it for killing NPCs with melee weapons like hammer or machete. I hope I pronounced this one correctly, because it's super hard for me. In Russian it sounds like machete. Anyway, for this one we are using Slippery Bastard, because we don't want to get shot while we are killing someone with a melee weapon, and most of the time NPCs are gonna be using weapons that will miss against Slippery Bastard when it's active on the mid or longer ranges. Next ability card is Fool Me Once, because we're still gonna get hit more often than one time in a 10 seconds, so we're gonna get this sweet 30% damage reduction. Next one is obvious, it's a Strange Medicine, because we're gonna need healing in PvE, and the last one is Unblinking Eye. I personally recommend you to have this ability card in any Slippery Bastard build, because otherwise we will run out of the dice super fast. Quite often it's gonna happen in the middle of the fight, and we definitely don't want such situation. Anyway, just pick any weapons that you like and go have fun. As I've mentioned before, you also can use this build with sniper rifles, especially if you're using 2 sniper rifles at once. But you might ask, Cat, maybe we should use some damage ability cards with sniper rifles? Well, I've made some experiments and the answer is no, because on practice damage ability cards will not change the amount of body shots that it will take to kill an NPC. I mean, easiest NPCs will be killed with 1 body shot in any way, but on the tougher NPCs, like for example in this Ruthless Telegram mission, if you're not hitting exactly to the chest or head, it will take 4 damage ability cards to make a 1 body shot kill. Only if you want to use regular ammo instead of express ammo on these tougher NPCs, I suggest you to use 1 damage ability card, Sharpshooter, instead of Fool Me Once. Otherwise, when your weapon will get dirty, it will take 3 body shots instead of 2, and that's not cool. Next build was made specifically for hunting legendary animals, and that's why it's called Crazy Woman Is Gonna Hate You. First of all, when you're hunting aggressive legendary animals, you can simply use slow and steady, and your horse will not throw you off when the die is active. But there is another effective build to kill any legendary animal extremely fast. For this one we're gonna use Painted Black, and no, you cannot mark legendary animals with Painted Black, but it still gives you perfect accuracy against them, and you're gonna need this. Next ability card is called the Short Game, and I mean it's the only situation in which you want to use this ability card, because we're gonna use shotguns, that's why we're gonna have bonus all the time. But if you don't have this ability card, no problem, just use Peak Condition instead and you'll be fine. But the next ability card is essential for this build, it's called Winning Streak. You probably have this one, because many players and content creators think that it's a great ability card. Well, it's not, but in this specific situation it's extremely powerful. It It works the following way: each consecutive shot to the target deals more damage, and the maximum bonus is 100%. And if you're gonna miss a shot, you will lose all the bonus. That's why it's not a great ability card on practice. But here is a little trick. When we're using regular shotgun ammo, each shot deals multiple sources of damage, because it's like each fraction deals damage. So with winning streak, even the damage for the first shot will be increased. Overall, winning streak plus shotguns deals huge damage if we're gonna land all the fractions, and we will, because we're gonna use painted black on a closer distance. So the last ability card doesn't really matter for this build. All we need now is semi-automatic shotgun, get a little bit closer and make 5 shots with painted black. That's it. Even the toughest legendary animals like this grizzly bear will die immediately. On the second place we have a build that I call Flower Gatherer. You might want to use it in many situations. For example, you gathering collections, or sedating animals, or killing animals but not too actively. In other words, you chilling, relaxing and enjoying the world of Red Dead Online. So here we're gonna use painted black just because this ability card is so good for many different situations, especially for hunting and sedating animals, but it also will be useful if you're gonna get attacked by NPCs or some low level players. Next ability card is Live for the Fight. You will regenerate the die slowly. I mean, most of the time we're gonna be peacefully riding around the map without shooting, but sometimes random NPCs will attack us, and it's gonna be good to have full the die bar in this situation. Next ability card is Strange Medicine. I mean, it's always a great choice for PvE, and the last ability card is Never Without One. Yes, it's not a PvE focused ability card, but I like to use it here because it will give us some sort of a protection from unexpected attacks. I mean, if some random griffer will decide to kill us, Never Without One can give us some time to react, because it blocks headshots, but not always. It only protects the upper side of your head. Anyway, in the first place we have a build that I personally call the best build for PvE. This build is focused on headshots, that's why we're gonna be using painted black ability card. It doesn't matter whether you are using mouse or controller, whether you have auto aiming or not, headshots are super easy with painted black. Next ability card is Eye for an Eye. For each kill with a headshot we will restore some amount of the die, and since we are only killing with headshots, we will restore a lot of the die. Next one is Strange Medicine, and for the last ability card slot we have different choices. If you're gonna feel like you're running out of the die too soon while using this build, use Gift of Focus or Kick in the Butt. Just don't use Unblinking Eye, it's not a great choice with painted black. On the other hand, if you're gonna feel like you're running out of health too fast, use Cold Blooded or Fool Me Once. And now just pick some weapon with good armor capacity and fire rate and you're ready. Lancaster or Evans repeaters are great choices, even Varmint rifle is a good one, or just use some revolvers like Navy or Lemma. I mean, pretty much all the weapons are fine if you know how to make headshots. So yeah, with this build after some practice you will pretty much never die in PvE or will have to drink tonics. So that's why I think that it's an absolutely best choice for killing NPCs or hunting in Red Dead Online. Let me know about your favorite build in the comments, and as always I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, до свидания.